Welcome back to Arise 360. Social media is more than just baby pictures and Twitter beefs. It's been said to garner jobs and build lasting relationships. So here to help us decipher the tricks of the game is social media expert Chris Ruby, who is the CEO of Ruby Media Group. Chris, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Shannon. Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited you're here because I need help with my page. But before that, let's just talk about how important social media is to our everyday lives, especially people who want to build a brand for themselves.
Of course, you know, social media is so important right now. And what people need to realize is that you really are a brand. You are a media company, right? And so people don't really look at themselves that way. They're looking at themselves as if, you know, someone else has the power and control and a gatekeeper, but really, it's them that has the power and control.
And so you basically help clients figure that out. What do you do in your everyday job to help your clients?
I do so much in my everyday job.
Right.
So really, because there's such a melding together of public relations and social media, plus content marketing, so we do a combination of all three of those things.
Okay.
So we do, you know, content calendars, actually creating the content, coming up with the ideation, the strategy, the execution, post, and then post-production and promotion.
Wow, okay. So with all that, which sites are better for which type of thing you're trying to do? Like, is Facebook better for, you know, businesses? Is Instagram better for people that are actually brands?
You know, it really depends. Are you B2B? Are you B2C, right? So it's...
What does that mean? Oh my gosh.
Business to business or business to consumer, right? So really,
gotcha,
where
gotcha.
is your target audience? So that's the first question that we ask someone. And then from there, we figure out a social media strategy after that question. But you have to know where they are. And also, you know, what are you selling? Who are you trying to reach? And where, you know, for example, Facebook, the largest growing demographic right now is 33 to 55-year-olds.
Okay.
So if you're selling something in that market and someone can afford that, then that's really where you want to be versus a Snapchat or an Instagram.
Okay, and even if you're not selling a physical product, but you are the brand, I know a lot of people on social media, they're just fun, they're funny, or they're doing something that people like, and they become brand, and all of a sudden people are paying them to hold up products or send out tweets and different things like that. That's like a growing industry in itself, right?
Of course, yeah, and that really lends itself to the rise of influencer marketing.
Influencer marketing, and what is that exactly?
Basically, you know, anyone can be an influencer right now if you have a set number of followers. So what it means is that do you have influence, for example, if you live in Westchester County, right, and you are the go-to mom blogger in that area, and you want to tweet about everything that is mom-related. Do you own that market?
And then people will know to come to you if they're looking for anything related to mom. So they say, hey, we got a new stroller. Can you use this stroller?
Exactly. And what's so interesting about that is it's really cut out the role of the traditional media gatekeeper here, because before you used to have to spend so much more resources to get in front of that target audience. But now you could just pay someone, that influencer, cut a deal with them, right, for a sponsored post or a package deal that they're going to give you. And you have the same access to that market, but you don't have to pay what you'd have to pay a print publication.
Well, in order to be an influencer, a lot of people say it's about the numbers. You have to have 1 million followers. Is that true? And is it the numbers that matter, or is it the interaction with the people? How does that work?
You know, a lot of it's really a sham right now. So this is a great question that you're asking, and I'm glad you brought it up. It's totally not about the numbers, especially because so many of them are fake followers.
Really?
Yeah, and so if you want to tell if someone has fake followers, look at the correlation between the amount of followers that it says they have and the actual likes that they get or the comments that they get. I mean, again, you could also purchase that as well. You can purchase likes and
you can.
engagement. Yeah, so there's a whole black market for all of these things right now.
So how can you tell if somebody's a real influencer if they're just paying somebody to hit like?
You know, one of the ways that you can tell is really, do they have real engagement, right? And I'll look at everything from the correlation and ratio I just gave you, but also the tag photos, right?
Okay.
So are they tagged from a lot of other people? And I also look at their digital footprint around the internet, right? So if I see that they have a crazy amount of Instagram followers, but then they have nothing on YouTube, they're not active on Twitter, they're not even on Facebook, you know, red flags go up to me and that. But the number one thing that matters is engagement. If you have 300 followers, but they actually convert, that means way more than 3 million followers that don't convert and aren't in your market.
Okay. So if someone wants to become one of these influencers, what are the things and the steps they need to take to make sure they get the engaged followers following them?
So step one, if you want to become an influencer, like start pressing record now. You have to be okay with really, taking this and turning the camera like this every day, right? The same way that you know that you have to brush your teeth several times a day, like you have to do this every single day.
Be glued to the phone.
You do, it's not also just that, but it's recording yourself and not feeling like you have to be camera ready at all moments, right? So people really trip up because they get so focused on this idea and the strategy and just never actually execute. And that's really the problem,
Just
right?
do it.
You just have to get out there and start doing it. So that's step one.
Now, you mentioned record. Is it better to do videos or photos?
Videos really are seeing a higher conversion rate right now, and especially even LinkedIn has had a greater push for videos. A lot of these other networks really are pushing people to do videos. So I highly recommend and encourage you to start doing videos, whether it's going to be something like a Facebook Live, or even if you're leveraging Instagram Stories for a video or doing a boomerang, like any of these things, like just start.
Okay, how many posts would you say a day?
One.
No way.
I mean, I'm pretty conservative on that. Some other people will say that that's wrong, and they'll say that you should be doing like 4 posts a day. I really am a big believer that, like, if Instagram, for example, I think it's a billboard. You only put your best stuff on the actual feed, right? So I actually, for Instagram stories, you could do 20 of them a day.
Okay.
Right, but it's
so
the
it's
actual
good to build
feed
stories.
post.
Okay.
Instagram stories are where it's at. That can really actually help you build a following right now.
Okay.
And in order to do that, you have to do a few things.
Okay, go.
One, you want to be doing, you want to use the hashtag feature within the Instagram stories.
Okay.
The two, you want to geotag, right? So
What's a geotag?
you want to put in the location.
Okay.
So, we'd want to tag the studio. The reason that's important is because that could help us get found in the actual location story here.
Okay.
And that helps other people find you. So you could be, you could show up in the New York story. You could show up in the United States story.
Okay.
Or the Wall Street story, right?
Oh,
All
that's
of these
awesome.
things are
Okay.
great, and that's how you help other people find you.
Okay.
Another thing you want to do.
Oh, sorry. With the GO, should you specifically say like where you are, or just like New York City? Is it better to be more generic, so a wider range?
I think usually, from what I've seen with clients, the more specific, the better.
Okay, got it.
So yeah, that's what I'd recommend.
Okay, okay. So far we have hashtags and geo tracker. What else?
Geotagging. Yeah.
Geotagging.
The other
Okay.
thing is you want to add in a few different handles, right? So if we're here together right now and you're posting something, you want to add in, if I have a few different handles, like add them into your story, right? Because then I'm going to see them. I'm going to get notifications and mentions that you just did that. And then what am I going to do? I'm going to want to take that and then regram that or repost it and add it back to my story.
Got it.
And so that's just stories.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about feed posts as
Yes,
well?
let's go there.
All right. So let's talk about feed posts. One thing you want to do, right? So let's say you have an option from today's segment. If there's an option, and I just had this option the other night, of just doing a photo of myself versus doing a photo of us together, always choose the one that has more people in it. So I did a panel, and there were 4 people on that panel. And so if you do all 4 people, then you're tagging all 4 people. And then you're taking that photo and multiplying the leverage of that one image versus a photo of just yourself, right? So you want to tag, you want to individually look up the handles for everyone that you did the segment with, and then tag all of them, and then obviously follow them as well, so you keep that relationship online. And that's just step one. Obviously, you also don't just want to throw up any old photo. Like it has to look good, and I constantly tell this to clients because sometimes they take over their accounts, and I wake up and I go, "Whoa, what happened there?"
Right.
Like you only want to put the best stuff up.
Yeah, my co-host Katura, she's great at that. She has these filtered photos, and then she photoshops, and they're like beautiful.
Exactly. So we could take 200 photos today, and I'm only going to put the best one up.
So you're saying post the best and prettiest shot, but story, it could be anything. You don't have to be pretty and beautiful and all that for your story.
Exactly.
Now what about hashtags? Should you hashtag in your post as well?
Yes, you should.
Okay.
So let's take a look at your stuff.
We're going to take a look at my page. I'm
let's
afraid.
critique it.
Okay, let's look at my page, and we'll talk about what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong.
Let's pull it
so
up.
if you look at my page, I'm trying to do more family-oriented, fatherly things.
All right, so can we just pull up, like, for example, this carousel here in the middle one? Let's look at that.
Okay.
I want to see how many hashtags you have.
Probably too many. I don't know.
Not enough.
Okay.
So here's the number one tip here. Hashtags are the currency of Instagram. If you're looking to grow your following base, you have to spend a significant amount of time researching hashtags every day.
Now, someone told me I should do all my hashtags in the comments so it doesn't look like I'm hashtag pimping in the actual post.
You should. You don't want to hashtag pimp, I guess, right? So you should add in a few different dots. I do it in the notepad. I put it in through there.
Okay.
And then, so I could spend up to an hour a day just researching.
serious?
I'm serious. This is why people don't understand, right? Everyone off the street
Wow.
thinks, oh, social media, I can do it. But really, like, it's a science. They're skilled at
Okay.
doing this the right way.
So, for example, when I'm taking this picture of reading with my kids, it's a photo, and I hashtagged like the things I could think of, with like Daddy Duty 365, hashtag playing, hashtag reading, hashtag kids, hashtag about last night, hashtag book. Those are like the things I think are related. Should I be hashtagging things that are unrelated, like hashtag celebrity, hashtag
No.
things that people like
Well, for
are
this,
popular?
So for this one, I'd be looking at, like, I'd be adding in and tagging the author of that book or the publisher
Oh,
of that
good,
book.
good
Like,
idea.
I'd look at
Okay.
everything, right? So I'd, like, if your T-shirt, right? Like, whoever made that, like, like if someone did your kid's hair, like, I would add that. Like, I actually really look at this. So if someone sends me
Wow.
something, I'm like, who did
Okay.
your makeup? Who did your hair? Where is that dress from? Like, I literally look at everything,
Okay.
and then I'll tag all of those different elements of it.
That's genius.
And because
Okay.
sometimes those brands will actually share it or repurpose that content. But to answer your question, I think I'd have to really look at the volume.
Okay.
Right? So hashtag dad, like, I don't know if it's like, can I pull it
Yeah,
up? Let me
show
just
us
pull
on
it
your
up
phone how-
so I can.
Yeah, so you're looking at what hashtag you're using and base that on how many other people are using that hashtag, right?
Exactly. So, like, hashtag daddy, right? I see
Mm-hmm.
13,400,000. Or hashtag daddy's girl. Do you have that in there?
Oh no, I didn't do
Right?
that.
So,
Daddy's
like,
girl.
I'm
I'll do
looking
that
at.
one.
Yeah, and then daddy's little girl spelled another way is over 2 million. Like, so there's
Okay.
all variations. So, like, even if you just wanted to do daddy's girl or daddy's little girl, like, there could be 6 different variations of that term.
Wow.
And then I'm going to sit there and look at the metrics behind that and, like, do a whole chart for each of them. So before, like, even for clients, like, every single day, whatever they're doing, it's usually not the same list.
Okay.
So that would be
makes
my
it-
advice to you.
Okay.
Number 1, you want to hashtag and probably use about 30 of them. Number 2,
Now in the post, so dot
In
and
the
then
comment.
in the comments. So
Yeah.
the first comment after I post, comment a bunch of different hashtags.
exactly. But
Okay.
also, are you including in, like, engaging comments with people? Are
Yeah, I
you?
usually say, you know, what's your favorite book to read to your kids if I was reading that one, or you know, how do you deal with this? Like I try to ask a question to get them to respond sometimes.
So the problem with that is you have to know who your audience is, right? So what is the goal, right? So if we step back here, what's the goal of all of this? Who are you trying to attract to follow you?
Other parents, other
Oh, you
people
are?
that like kids, other people that are in the mommy daddy's parenting spaces.
Okay. Versus the stuff with the show or.
Yeah, because I think that so many people are doing the celebrity thing. So many people are, you know, it's just oversaturated, the whole celebrity market. So I'm still staying with that a little bit and posting some of the pictures of some of the guests that we have here, but I do it more so in the story with the guests and the celebrities that I have, and then more of the daddy duties, fatherly stuff there.
So okay, so you're losing all these stories though because you're not highlighting any of them. I don't see any of them saved. Are you pinning them?
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I can tell you you're not because I
Okay.
don't see them, like the little circles at the top. So the great thing about Instagram stories is that they no longer disappear.
Right.
So you can highlight each of them and then you
Okay.
can save each of them. And so
Gotcha.
that could be helpful for you with the parenting stuff as well.
Okay.
Like one could be for guests, like show guests, and then another could be, you know, I don't know, give me a few activities that you usually show with the kids.
You know, activities, outdoor activities, going to the playground, going fishing, going camping, those type of
Okay.
things.
So each of those could be their own little highlights, right?
Okay.
Or also another thing with influencers right now is that they're monetizing those, and so people are actually paying for a spot within those highlights.
Okay, and you said something earlier also that in order to see the numbers, you have to have a business account or a regular person account. Now, what's
Yes.
the difference and how does the business account help someone?
So it would be really helpful for you to switch over from a regular profile to a business profile because you have the ability to see insights. Right now, you're just a regular user profile, so you can't see insights, and I don't believe that you have the ability to boost, post, or promote them, right? So you're actually missing out on the greatest feature of all.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to actually, you know, use Instagram advertising or Facebook advertising, you need to do a lot of this stuff on those other pages.
Now, can anybody switch over to a business page at any point in time? Or
If
do
you
they need
have
a
one.
certain number or?
You don't need a certain number. So what it is that you needed a certain number, I believe over 10,000 to swipe up so within an Instagram story.
Okay.
But you don't need that to do what we're talking about doing. That's
Gotcha.
why I said for you, are we going to do the celebrity bucket or is it going to be, you know, the parenting bucket? Because those are two very different audiences. So you can't really properly do what I'm saying until you answer that question and then create content around that.
Okay, well, I'm going to try to answer it during the commercial break because there's a lot that I have to do. My homework is cut out for me. But Chris Ruby, thank you so much. How can people find you if they need help with their social media pages?
Sure, you can find me at rubymediagroup.com, or I have a few different Twitter. I'm Sparkling Ruby, or I'm at Ruby Media Group, or at Chris Ruby.
So basically, you can find her anywhere, anytime. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. And Arise 360, we'll be right back. Hashtag it. You're amazing. I was like, wow.